Dealers are sounding the alarm. Cars built after 2018 are breaking in ways nobody expected, and the repair bills are exploding. Shops are seeing repairs that cost more than the entire car is worth, even on vehicles still under warranty. Some mechanics are refusing to work on certain brands altogether, and five-figure repair estimates are becoming a weekly routine. Modern vehicles are overloaded with sensors, turbos, software, and electronics that mechanics never trained for. According to CCC Intelligent Solutions, nearly 80% of collision repairs now require diagnostic scans, a massive jump from just a few years ago. And it's not just collisions. Routine maintenance has become unpredictable, complicated, and shockingly expensive. Today, we're breaking down the 15 major repair problems hitting drivers in 2025 and how to avoid getting crushed by the bill. Make sure to subscribe, tap the bell, and hit that hype button so more drivers don't get blindsided by a repair disaster. Number 1. The Great Inventory Drought. To understand today's chaos, we need to go back to the pandemic. Between 2016 and 2019, automakers sold around 17 million vehicles per year. Then, everything collapsed. In 2020 and 2021, combined sales barely reached 13.7 million. Those missing years erased about 15 million cars from the supply chain. At first, it mainly affected new car lots, but now the ripple has hit the used market hard. Edmunds reports that late-model used cars, 6 years old or newer, dropped from 15.5 million in 2022 to just 11.4 million in 2024. And they're expected to fall to 10.7 million in 2025. That's nearly one-third of prime used inventory gone. Dealers knew they couldn't rely on standard supply channels anymore, so they pivoted to older cars that people are keeping longer but eventually have to sell. Number 2. The lease return cliff. The backbone of the used car market has always been lease returns. These are clean, low-mileage vehicles that dealerships depend on. But S&P Global says lease maturities will drop a stunning 41% in the first half of 2025 alone. Nearly 1 million missing cars. Why? Because when inventory was tight in 2022, automakers stopped offering attractive lease deals. Lease penetration fell below 20% compared to nearly 30% pre-pandemic. Luxury brands are hit even harder, with lease returns plunging 46%. Some brands could see drops as high as 81%. This collapse destroys the primary pipeline for high-quality used vehicles, forcing dealers to aggressively pursue older cars owned by consumers. Number 3. The $400 payment threshold. Dealers aren't chasing old cars randomly. They're after a very specific buyer, the person who must stay under a $400 monthly payment. Experian data shows cars 9+ years old average $431 month, cars 4 to 8 years old average $498 month, cars 0-3 years old average $608 month. More than 55% of older models fall under the psychologically important $400 mark. And here's the twist. Better-off buyers are joining this trend. Experian reports that buyers with credit scores over 660 now make up 53.7% of loans for 9-year-old plus vehicles. Even prime borrowers are saying, "Give me an older car if it keeps my payment low." Number 4. The private party gold rush. The most profitable cars aren't coming from auctions anymore. They come from people's driveways. CarMax and Carvana buy over 2 million cars a year directly from consumers, far more than they retail. Why? Because these units deliver $500 to $1,000 more profit per vehicle. Traditional dealerships took notice. They're now using dedicated buy centers and advanced software to track private listings from over 20 websites. One dealer using the VetTX platform jumped from buying 10 cars a year to 17 in just his first month. Another reported $4 million in extra profit from private party acquisitions. The message: dealers want to buy your car before you list it, and what they're paying might shock you. But to understand why these prices look so high, you need to see why the traditional trade-in market has collapsed. Number 5. The trade-in crisis. Trade-ins used to be steady supply. Not anymore. Edmunds says the average age of trade-ins has risen to 7.6 years, up from 7.3 just a year ago. Meanwhile, people with older paid-off cars, 15 to 20 years old, simply cannot afford today's $700, $800 new car payments. They're keeping their vehicles, not trading them. As one dealer put it, people in this economic bracket only trade in when they absolutely have to. And when older cars do reach auction, they often need major reconditioning. Dealers report that nearly every car entering the system today requires work, and those repairs get passed directly to the buyer. Number 6. What dealers actually pay. Used vehicle gross profits average around $1,668 per sale. But what matters most is acquisition cost. Dealers are paying roughly $25,500 on average for used vehicles, but clean lower mileage models can push far higher. CarEdge notes the average used car now carries 70,000 miles, the highest ever. Yet cars with under 30,000 miles, even older ones, are pulling premium offers. On the low end, used cars under $15,000 have only 29 to 34 days of supply, making them some of the fastest moving vehicles on the market. Number 7. The coming EV tsunami. While dealers hoard gas cars, they're eyeing the EV wave nervously. Lease return EVs will jump from 123,000 in 2025 to 330,000 in 2026, and possibly 650,000 by 2027. Meanwhile, used EVs are already selling faster than average, moving in 34 days compared to the market's 41-day average. Dealers fear a sudden collapse in used EV prices if supply surges. Their solution? Stockpile reliable gas-powered vehicles before the EV flood hits. Number 8. The service lane pipeline. Service departments are now acquisition engines. When you bring your car in, the advisor already knows your mileage, your maintenance history. When major repairs are coming, dealers use this data to decide who to approach with offers. Many now have teams dedicated to calling service customers to buy their cars before they trade them elsewhere. For consumers, this means unsolicited offers may actually be legit, but never the highest price the dealer would pay. Number 9. What this means for buyers. The result of all this? Prices keep rising. The average used listing price, $25,825. 3-year-old vehicles, $30,500 plus. Days to turn, 41 days, the slowest since 2017. Dealers feel no urgency to negotiate because they can't replace inventory cheaply. And affordable cars, under $15,000, are disappearing fastest, with about 1 month of supply nationwide. Buying in 2025 will require strategy, patience, and flexibility. But you can still protect yourself if you know exactly which vehicles dealers want most. Number 10. The vehicles dealers want most. Dealers prioritize vehicles with strong demand and low operating costs. Month after month, these brands dominate. Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota, Honda, Nissan. They represent nearly half of all used sales. Sedans are also making a comeback. While they're only 19% of new car sales, they make up about 37% of used registrations because they're cheaper, more efficient, and perfect for value-seeking buyers. Dealers avoid vehicles that are too old, too worn, too high mileage, or too expensive to recondition. The sweet spot: cars with clean history, reasonable miles, and strong reliability reputations. Number 11. The 2026 problem. The real crunch is coming in 2026. Lease returns will drop to about 2 million total, down from 4 million in 2020, cutting the normal used supply in half. Edmunds says the shortage will last through early 2026, even though new car production is improving. Replacement inventory simply isn't flowing fast enough. The rebound won't begin until 2027, when lease returns finally climb again. Until then, dealers who stockpile older inventory will control the market. Number 12. How to protect yourself. Here's how to avoid losing money in this distorted market. 1. Know your car's real value. Get multiple appraisals, CarMax, Carvana, dealer quotes. 2. Don't sell unless you know what you'll replace your car with. Replacement prices may shock you. 3. Expand your search radius. Prices vary dramatically by region. 4. Consider older vehicles seriously. A well-maintained 2014-2016 car may be a smarter buy than a newer model. 5. Get pre-approved financing. Credit unions often beat dealer rates and give you negotiation power. Number 13. What dealers don't want you to know. Dealers know this hoarding phase won't last forever, but they don't need it to. They just need to stay profitable until the market normalizes. Gross margins are lower than 2019, but still healthy. Dealers are winning by buying strategically, holding desirable inventory, waiting for the right buyers. For sellers, this may be the peak of your car's value, but the window is closing. Cox Automotive now projects 16.1 million new car sales in 2025, meaning more trade-ins and eventual relief for used buyers. The question is, can you wait? Which part shocked you the most? If dealers have been calling to buy your old car, tell us your story in the comments. Your experience could help thousands of other buyers. And don't miss our next video on the 11 car repairs that cost more than the vehicle is worth. Number 4 might change how you think about keeping that old car in your driveway.